The disciple is behind for else episode. Or, luckily, so are the absurd introduction statements of the candidates. I'm the Beyoncé of industry, claims one in the discovery scene. Cash doesn't buy joy, says else, yet I'd quite cry in a sport car rather than an old sausage. Such acclaims are potential to go downward in the Shaw's story on in the likes of all I concern turns to sold out, and I'm not a one-stunt pony, I've got a entire box of ponies. Yet, Lord Blood Sugar says, he conducted exclusion to the proposal how candidates on the Shaw are silly. This program himself is an amusement program as so as a industry program, he tells journalists at the start of the year's episode. Such silly human beings thou re speaking on Run 6 really success business community, one of that has done £1 million the year, and the other are shut over them. He's real how 6x winners of the Shaw include lost on to success industry ventures with the 2010 guideline changing, that saw Lord Blood Sugar put in a industry concept quite rather than employing and disciple for his own business. In spite their partly above confident claims, Lord Blood Sugar says, this entire spot of the trial is how you do discover a victor in the late. This human beings try to struggle for their stance in the previous stages, they say several things that audio a bit stupid, but they're not how silly very. Can I as well insert there, picks up Claude Littner, or fair tell, not one of them is in fact silly. He's maybe a remarkable defense of the candidates of Lord Blood Sugar's accomplice, who doesn't precisely go lightweight on candidates on the Shaw. They're all work really, really difficult, and the tasks, you may be observer the TV thought I can do how, I convince thou, you can't, he says. He's a lot more than facility rather than you believe. And they're very hard difficult, and he's really, really hard. Thou get a team, they don't he aware every some, they're fight for a stance, he's lot stronger rather than it looks, trust me. The behavior and claims of the candidates frequently give them fame and a short incantation of public print popularity. But how is perhaps a disadvantage, as it could indicate the Shaw is more than potential to draw human beings who are popularity hungry quite rather than such who have true industry ability. How's a really nice spot, says Lord Blood Sugar. I do worry about a many. In the choice trial, occasionally I worry about how human beings are down there for the incorrect reasons. Or if I do go through them, they don't tend to recent to length, allows put it how path possessing told how, a lot of the contestants go in the intent of winner the award and receive the work. Or which happens is they get fired, and down there's how type of departure sign following the Shaw ends, wherever they're not spotty in Tesco over. They later wish to do thing else, since they got a taste of creature on TV. Or I include to tell, in the exclusion of just one how I can remember, how they don't get really distant. They get utilized as dummies in quiz shows in things love how and get done fools of, and later drop off. Requested which consultation he would offer Hopkins currently, Lord Blood Sugar says, she's done her cot, she's departure to include to lay in it. He's one of lifetime's training session how she's learned. Perhaps it might be a wake up urge for her. She's got to resolve the item and go on. Down there's no consultation very how I can offer her since she done her own problems. So I expect she's learned of he. Orel-eyed disciple fans spotty a slight mistake in the click shots that went out to journalists on Tuesday. One of the new candidates, 26-year-old Kayad Damali, emerging to include sprouted an additional brush as he stacked his weapon. The discovery scene of the new episode sees the candidates delivered to Malta for the at first problem, in that they are taking into account a listing of items to path downward and buy as cheap as probable. He's a known problem on the Shaw, but the position is brand new, and the tongue obstacle is fair one of lot factors that halt the year's harvest of cover themselves in fame. Baroness Brady, Lord Blood Sugar's some accomplice on the Shaw, says, which's unbelievable is how, virtually, Alan says to them, thanks to really lot for upcoming, there's a card, there's several euros, go discover me 9 items, and off they go. Or the issue is, they all believe they're shiny, they believe they are the ultimate man whose departure to win and they're complete of passion and power, but once they start to understand it is, as Claude says, more than hard, all conducted a bit more than period. They do job difficult, they're not all silly, but they do say several silly things. This item is how, while we begun 14 year back, down there was no such a item as public print, so things changing as we go via, he says. This candidates of the program are informed at a really previous phase how they include to be really cautious, which they do as far as public print is worried, or public print can be their foe very, since up we choose several of the candidates, we use it ourselves to discover out which they've been up to. So he's an era we're fleeing via at the time. Compressed on the clearance he skilled on public print in the recent year, he says, thou fair include to get the course in the sleek very, he's as easy as how.